welcome back to the Mark David Show. I'm going to do another Lewiston Morning Tribune article. This is Law Enforcement Agencies Targeting Illegal Fireworks. Officials plan crackdown as 4th of July holiday nears. Then it goes on to say, in the city of Lewiston, anything that goes up or blows up is illegal. This includes artillery shells and mortars, bottle rockets, Roman candles, firecrackers, and explosives like M80s. Okay, here's what I'm going to say about this really quickly. They're going to approach this and are approaching this like the war on drugs, where you go after the end user and you leave the supplier and distributor alone. I'm not going to say, we all know what the firework issue is. We know where they come from. We know what's going on with the fireworks. Again, target the user, not the supplier. Come on. Law enforcement, if you're really legitimate about this, and I'm going to, as dry and hot as it is, we don't need no fire starting, period. The whole western U.S. is cooking. Down in Santa Fe, they're saying this is unprecedented. We don't even know what to do about all this scorching heat. This would be a good year. I'm usually not really big on enforcing a bunch of statutes and laws on everybody, but this would actually be a really good year to make sure there were no fires because of fireworks. Go to the source. Go to the supplier, not the end user. Although the end users, you guys would be responsible too. All right, let's move on. All right, this is from KLEW-TV. I'm doing a lot of extremely local stories. Of course, I'm going to do more national headlines in a minute, but this is, I want to make a prediction here on the Mark David Show. This has no relation to the last story about the fireworks. Got it? Okay. This is from KLEW-TV. U.S. Interior Secretary makes emotional pledge to Native Americans. This is in Reno, Nevada. Sally Jewell made an emotional pledge in her first address to Indian country as the 51st U.S. Interior Secretary, saying she'll help right past wrongs against Native Americans and work with tribes nation to nation to protect their sovereignty. Jewell fought back tears and paused to compose herself during remarks Thursday in Reno, Nevada, to about 300 delegates of the National Congress of Native Americans. The casino ballroom audience gave her a standing ovation. She said she cannot, quote, reverse all of that in 4 years, but she is determined to make important progress to help tribes become, here it is, more economically independent. So in other words, they're going to kick the Native Americans off the dole. That's what's going to happen. They're going to make them, so she gets up there, she's crying, oh God, I'm sorry about the past. I'm sorry our ancestors came over here and raped and pillaged you and threw you over here. Threw you in these holes in the worst land we could find. And now that you're making money, we're going to kick you off the dole. Oh, I'm sorry. She didn't say that. She said, we're going to make you more, quote, economically independent. Gotcha. Okay, let's move on. All right, this is from my favorite news source, D News. Of course, I'm being extremely sarcastic. You know, D News isn't that bad. It just, except when it's bad, it's like third grade level bad. Like, I'd rather you just go let some kindergartners write the news sometimes. Okay, this story doesn't apply to that statement. DNews.com, Latah County, oh, sorry, wrong article. Liquor sales revenue could nudge budget sales. Latah County got about $250,000 more than expected in 2012. So in other words, Latah County is becoming a drunk. And that's great because I have been planning this rant. Because I'm going to talk a little bit later, there's some political things on the horizon. And I think this area is becoming a bunch of wino drunks, literally. Now, this article is about how Latah County received more money. They received about $500,000. This doesn't mean it came from Latah County. But I'm going to go ahead and take the opportunity to say, I really think this is why things are politically messed up. I really do. The problem with people who drink wine is that they don't know that they're drunks. You go to any bar where people are sucking down liquor, and they're going to tell you, I'm a drunk. The reason I drink Jack Daniels is because I'm a drunk. And even beer people. We all know beer people. We know beer people, yeah. I mean, they're a little bit denial about it. Their little 6-pack a night thing going. And we know alcohol just pollutes and destroys your brain cells. Not that you should, not that you shouldn't go out and enjoy yourself, but everything in moderation. Drunks don't do things in moderation. Just like degenerate gamblers don't do anything in moderation. It's all or nothing. There are too many wineries around here for me not to say that the Subaru Mafia of Moscow, you know what I'm talking about, when I see a Subaru, I pull off the road as fast as I can because I know that that person's probably drunk. They probably have wine on their breath. I mean, you think I'm just making this up and being funny. I'm not. This is for real. I really think this is what's happening. This is why things are so politically messed up, and I'm going to talk more about it a little bit later, but the point is, y'all are a bunch of drunks out here. Y'all are a bunch of winos. It's okay to have things in moderation. Have a glass of wine with dinner. Have some wine on the weekend. That's not what's happening. You drive by these wineries around here, and they're full all the time. Packed with cars. Packed full of Subarus. It's pretty crazy. Moscow, you got to quit being a bunch of drunks. Of course, you can't tell a drunk anything. All right, let's take a break. We'll come back. More Mark David show in a minute. You don't want to miss the second half.